Designer Note Subject 76. Heuer and Hodinkee has collaborated a couple of times before. One of them was a tasteful reimagining of a very limited run autavia, the Orange Boy, and the other very much obscured, barely produced tribute, the Skipper, both of which I had no clue existed. But then again, I'm but a toddler in the world of horology. Before you begin imagining me, a pale-skinned Asian in diapers talking all sorts of things ticking, let me divert your attention to the new Heuer Carrera Dato Hodinkee limited edition. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us at Instagram at DesignAtelierAruba for behind-the-scenes content. Email us at DesignAtelierViewer@gmail.com. This particular model is a reissue of the collector-beloved 1963 Dato 45 that features asymmetry rather than balance compared to other vintage Heuer offerings. While having the date on your watch is commonplace today, that wasn't the case in the 60s, with the Carrera Dato being one of the early chronographs with this feature. The inspiration is coming from the Heuer Carrera reference 3147N, with the N being the noir or black model. These models come in a black or white dial variants back in the day. The original Dato 45 was powered by the Landeron 189 movement, which offered a 45-minute chronograph counter at the 3 o'clock position. This was Jack Heuer's second attempt at date placement, which was originally at the 12 o'clock position with the first Dato 45. The case of this new Hodinkee Dato is 39mm, which is appropriate for vintage watch sizes. Worth noting is that the original was quite a bit smaller, which was at 35mm only. The lug width is 19mm and the case thickness is 14.7mm. The case is rated for 100 meters of water resistant, good enough for quick splashes but not for pool dives. The new watch is part of the Glass Box series. Glass box refers to the heavily domed crystal sitting over the dial, which recreates the look of the plexi mineral glass coverings of older watches, in contrast to the mostly flat sapphire crystals used today. Inside, we are treated with the caliber Heuer 02. This is the brand's latest and greatest chronograph achievement, according to Hodinkee. Heuer modified the movement for this collaboration by removing the caliber 02's typical 6 and 9 o'clock registers and developed a brand new date disc. This dial is a mirror image of the Skipper that Hodinkee collaborated with Heuer back in 2017. The movement still beats at 28,000 vibrations per hour, installed with 33 jewels, lasts for 80 hours on its power reserve, and utilizes both a column wheel and vertical clutch mechanism. There's also no running second indicator. The dial is finished in matte black, with very simplistic minor details. This adheres closely to the original Dato 45's aesthetics. The subdial is radial textured, providing an attractive contrast to the rest of the polished applied markers and hands. The date window is framed with inner chamfers. There's a Swiss designation at the 6 o'clock position, which is also present in the original. On the dial's 12, the Carrera over Heuer is prominently printed, reminding everyone of Heuer's commitment to keep the vintage-themed releases with just the Heuer branding. There are loom plots on top of the indexes and long trenches of them on the hands. You'll find absolutely no faux patina on the new Carrera Dato's dial, according to Hodinkee. The pushers are also noticeably similar to the Dato 45s, with the crown signed with Heuer. This will also come with an alligator strap that may not be imported in some countries, but Hodinkee will be including replacements for those who ordered in these said regions. The clasp is also appropriately signed Heuer. The first key difference we can highlight is the black chapter ring instead of the white. This was a design choice to appeal to the modern sensibility and preserve the distinct character of the original. The typeface is also modernized to give the new Dato a fresh look. On the subdial at 3, the vintage model sports a 45-minute track. This new Dato now operates with a 30-minute track. True to its contemporary taste, the new Dato features a clear sapphire display caseback, which is typically closed on the original model. This beautifully frames the decorated Heuer 02 movement with a 160-year anniversary winding rotor. Inside the display case frame is the Hodinkee engraving, along with the necessary product markings such as the serial numbers and water resistance rating. Putting the original and the Hodinkee collaboration beside each other yields the visible similarities. But we can also spot here where the original shines a little bit more than the re-release. The spacing on the original is much more pleasing. There is enough negative space for the details to breathe and be focused on. The new Dato's date and logo sits too close to the loom plot and hour marker. But this observation can only be made with a side-by-side comparison, hardly something that most would encounter on a regular basis. Like the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, take your pick, the old or new one, this one is gone in 60 seconds. What's the point of us mentioning that it costs $7,250 and limited to just 250 pieces if they're all gone anyway? There were openings for pre-orders at authorized dealers, but those too are all filled. This will definitely be available in the gray market at predictably staggering premiums. Oftentimes, the date window is an afterthought or even a complaint for many watch collectors. But with the new Heuer Carrera, the date window takes center stage, or stage right in this case, but you know what I mean. It's simple and uncluttered. It also tries to be relevant in a practical sense. Hodinkee touts that 30-minute timer is relevant to the kitchen warriors, but not having a running seconds hand may make some owners do a double take just to see if the watch is actually working. But all that set aside, the new Heuer Carrera steps out of the shadows and into the hands of quick-draw pre-order collectors and potential scalpers. But for the keen and design-oriented, it's clean and easy to use. It's asymmetrical in a good way. It's aesthetically reserved, yet interesting. All this while shedding light on a long out-of-production model.